It's an ecologically switched on city, more than most, definitely. It's very close to green space. It's got a really good counterculture scene. It's got a really good music scene. It's big enough to be a city and it's small enough to actually bump into people that you know, as opposed to other big cities like London.
It's different. Where I live it's very quiet, peaceful, nice neighbours, friendly environment.
Well, I like that it's busy, but it's not like London craziness. It's got lots of stuff to do, lots of parks. It's just a really nice city. Really, lots of shops, good access.
And what do you like about living here? Nothing. What in particular?
Oh, actually, hockey team I play for.
What I really like about Bristol is the community feel. In Easton there's a massive selection of community-minded pirate types and loads of environmentalists. It's very green.
What makes it the best, do you think?
Historical and active and plenty to do. Nice housing.
But do you feel there's enough employment opportunities for everyone else? What makes you think that?
I've been trying for the last 10 months to get a job.
I think there are quite a lot of employment opportunities. Plenty enough, if you didn't have a job, you could find a job. It might not be really highly paid, but you could find a job to start with and work your way up.
With a bicycle it's fine, but I wouldn't bother with a bus. I think the bus is a pointless exercise, overpriced and a pathetic service. I'm sure everyone says that. As for road, the M32 is a strange thing because it goes right to the centre of town, so it divides communities, but it's quite handy getting back into town. Yeah, but I wouldn't go with buses.
I definitely think they're too expensive. I cycle everywhere because buses are just too much.
Are there quite a lot of provisions for cycle routes?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It depends where you are, but like the Bristol to Bath cycle route is really good.
Roads are fine. Buses are pretty rubbish.
It costs the same amount of money to go on the train as it does from the bus to Bath, apparently. I cycle everywhere. That's great. Sus Trance have just managed to get lots of money again recently. I think we're meant to be the cycle city or something. I don't know what that means. I think that we could do with a tram system. We need to get rid of all the cars in the city, get a lot more people to share cars. Car sharing.
Do you feel safe in your neighbourhood or the city in general?
In the day, yeah. In the night, I wouldn't want to go some places without a big man by my side.
No, not so much mugging or anything like that. Mainly drugs. Drugs are everywhere in Bristol. Absolutely everywhere.
I sometimes feel safe, but the reason I feel safe, I think, is because it's a good community feel. But to be honest, I don't think there's patches of Bristol that are quite unsafe. There's a lot of kind of prostitution and drug dealing and kids that don't really know what they want to do, so they've got spare time, so they end up doing some things that aren't so tasty.
Okay. And education-wise, do you go to a school locally?
Yes.
And do you feel that it's a decent school or?
I think it's very decent, yes. I enjoy going there.
Well, it's a pity there are so many independent schools because it means that the state schools don't have so many of them more able pupils.
Yeah. So they're suffering.
They suffer from that, yes. But maybe with the academies it will level things out a bit.
And do you personally vote in local elections?
No.
No. And do you feel they're important?
Yeah, I do. I suppose I am quite slack when it comes to that. I kind of support local community projects more than actually looking at those things.
Yeah.
And so I put my time into things that I can see are actually changing rather than things like voting. I don't really feel like it's changing much.
Yes, they are important because if we don't vote, then we can't really complain about things that aren't so good.
Well, they've just done this Broadmead development, which is a hideous thing, a cathedral of consumerism, but I'm hoping there'll be lots more green spaces around there. The problem is it kind of turns sections of the city into privately owned areas where it's just towards consumerism, it's not really towards community or cultural things or nature, so maybe just a bit more conversion to that rather than just capitalism and consumerism.
So if you could sum up the area in just a few words or adjectives, what would you say, good or bad?
Really boring.
Boring.
I think Bristol is quite a creative place. There's got a lot of energy, a lot of wasters as well.
Clean. Well, it was clean. Like I say, it was interesting, different.
Attractive to live in. Fairly expensive, council tax wise, especially where we live. Yes, we like it.
Okay, then, well, thank you very much.